basic concept of electric flux. First, what is mean by flux? Flux is some kind of flow. Means it is a flow of water, flow of liquid, flow of fluid, flow of wind, flow of electric lines of force. This anything flow is called flux. So flux, it is the property of vector field. Now what about electric flux? Electric flux is the property of electric field. Now what is the magnetic flux? It is a property of magnetic field. So now we are going to define its electric flux. Electric flux. So electric flux, it is the measure of the total number of electric lines of force passing normally through that area. Means electric lines passing through the surface normally. So it is denoted by phi. So simply electric flux means, so electric flux means total number of electric lines of force. Electric lines of force. Next so expression for the electric flux. Expression for electric flux. So first experiment, keeping the area of the loop remains constant. We are varying the electric field lines. Now when the number of lines passing through the surface is more, flux is more. Number of lines passing through the surface is less, flux is less. So here phi 1, it's a flux phi 2, phi 1 greater than phi 2. So electric flux directly proportional to electric lines of force. So second, in this case, keeping the number of electric lines of force remains constant, and we are varying the electric area of the loop. Suppose two loops area A1 and A2. We are kept inside the electric field normal to the field lines. So here totally there are 7 lines are there. So out of 7 only 3 lines are flowing area A1 and 7 lines flowing area A2. And here electric flux produced phi 1, here electric flux produced phi 2. So phi 2 greater than phi 1. So that means, so area flux directly proportional to area. Where is the area? There is a more number of electric lines of force flowing, so flux is more. Next, third experiment. Keeping the number of lines remains constant, area of the loop remains constant, just we are varying the orientation of the loop. Direction of the, normal to the direction of the loop is varying. So here the electric field lines crossing the surface normally, and area vector, electric field vector, both are in the same direction. So the angle between area vector and electric field is 0. Here almost all the electric lines are passing normal to the surface. The flux is maximum. Here now the direction of the orientation of the loop is changes like this. Now the area vector is in this direction, field is in this direction, so no electric lines of force crossing the surface normally. That means its a flux is 0. When flux is 0, what is the angle between the area vector and electric field? It's 90 degrees. Now it's sine 0 means 0, cos 0 means 1. Sine 90 1, cos 90 0. Now we have to write electric flux directly proportional to cos theta or electric flux directly proportional to sine theta. If we write sine theta, when theta equals to 0, flux what happened? 0. But here flux is maximum. So if we take sine theta equals to 90, sine theta equals to 90 means theta is maximum. Sine this value becomes maximum. But here what happened? This value is minimum. That means we cannot write sine theta. So then what we have to write? Flux directly proportional to, we have to write cos theta. So now from all these expressions, so we can write it is flux directly proportional to E into A into cos theta. So flux equal to EA cos theta. It's a proportionality constant is 1. So now how we defined in vector form? So in vector form, so flux phi equals to E bar dot, it's A bar. This is the vector form. Now we got the mathematical expression for the electric flux. Okay, so finally, suppose the area of loop, this is the area of the loop and its direction of area of the loop is in this direction, electric field is in this direction, and what is the angle? Theta. That means its area of the loop makes an angle theta, not its plane of the loop. Its area vector makes an angle theta with electric field. Then formula phi equals to EA cos theta. Theta is the angle between the area vector and electric field. If the electric field makes an angle theta with plane, then this theta becomes 90 minus theta. So we get the cos 90 minus theta means sin theta when the angle is taken with the plane of the loop. Here normal to the loop with electric field, this is the formula. So now there is a different cases are there. Suppose these are the electric field lines, it's electric field lines and it's the normal, it is the normal. So now how is the electric field lines? It crosses the surface perpendicularly. When they crosses the surface perpendicularly, then so theta, what is the theta? Theta is the angle between the area vector and the electric field. It makes 0 degrees, 0, cos 0 1, cos 0 1, then flux equals to EA. This is the maximum flux. Now the orientation of the loop is changes. Now this, and keeping the field remains constant. Field remains constant. So this is the area of the loop and electric field is in this direction. Is there any number of electric lines of force crossing the surface? No. That means flux is 0. There is no flux. Here, what is the angle between the plane of the normal to the loop and electric field? 90 degrees. Cos 90, 0. When cos 90 is 0, then flux becomes 0. So this is the second case. Now third case. First, area of the loop like this, area of the loop like this, electric field is like this. Second case, area of the loop, field remains constant, area of the loop is changes. In the third case, area of the loop is like this, area of the loop is like this, and electric field is like this. Both are anti-parallel. So what is the angle between the plane of the loop and electric field? It's 180. Here also electric fields are entering into the surface normally, so but cos 180 minus 1 electric field is so minimum. And electric flux density, suppose there is a more field, means more number of electric lines of force crossing the given surface. Here less field means less number of electric lines of force crossing the same area, same loop, same surface area. Then what happened? So where is the flux density is more? Flux density means flux per unit area. So here per unit area more amount of flux is entering, is linked with the loop. Here less amount of flux is passing through the loop. So now what is the flux density formula? Flux per unit area. So flux by area. So its units are Newton per Coulomb. So we are going to discuss Gauss law or Gauss theorem. So what is the statement of Gauss law? Gauss law states that the total electric flux over a closed surface in a vacuum is equal to 1 by epsilon times net charge enclosed within the closed loop. This is the Gauss law. So now this can be mathematically expressed as total flux phi is equal to integral of surface integral. So what is the present total surface area? That is the total electric flux equal to E bar dot ds bar q enclosed or q net or q inside by epsilon naught. This is the mathematical formula. So now we have to prove the mathematical formula. Consider a charge q plus charge q is placed at a point. Now we are going to find how much is the flux produced by this charge. So now how we can find the how much is the flux produced by this charge? So we have to when flux is produces, when the electric lines of force crosses the surface normally. So in order to find the electric flux, we have to imagine the one Gaussian surface or one Gaussian sphere around the plus charge q. Now what is meant by Gaussian surface? It is an hypothetical surface is imagined around the charge to find the electric flux. So now electric field lines which are produced by plus q charge are crosses normal to the its hypothetical surface or Gaussian surface, then flux is produces. So now in order to find this expression, we consider small elemental area dA. So at this point electric field and small elemental area both are in the same direction, so which is at a distance from R. So now what is the intensity of electric field at this point? Intensity of electric field at this point equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by R. Q is the charge enclosed within the Gaussian surface. Next so now we got the electric field, but we have to find electric flux. So due to small element, very small number of electric lines of force cross the surface normally. So due to the very small electric lines of force, small amount of electric field is produced, flux is produces. So small amount of electric flux E bar dot. Right. So expression for Gauss law. Consider three charges Q1 plus Q2 minus Q3 inside the Gaussian sphere Gaussian surface. And another three charges Q1, Q2, Q3 are outside the Gaussian surface. Now we are going to calculate how much is the electric flux linked with all these charges through the Gaussian surface. Now consider a point P on the surface. So at this point net electric field due to all these charges is E. Let the charge due to the electric field due to Q1 is E1, Q2 is E2, electric field due to minus Q3 is E3. And due to the plus Q1 is E1 dash, U2, Q2, E2 dash, due to electric field due to Q3 is E3 dash. Now we are going to find what is the net electric field at point P. Algebraic sum of these charges, the electric fields, E1 bar plus E2 bar plus E3 bar, E1 dash plus E2 dash plus E3 dash. Now we are going to find the total electric flux through the closed surface. So now, what is the formula, flux formula? Phi equals to integral E bar dot ds bar. Here in place we write E1 bar, E2 bar, E3 bar plus E1 dash, E2 dash, E3 dash dot ds bar. So now you multiply with ds. Now these are the expressions we got. But electric field, electric flux due to this term is Q1 by epsilon naught. Second term Q2 by epsilon naught, Q3 by epsilon minus Q3 by epsilon naught. But these charges are outside the Gaussian surface. They produce is 0. 0 plus 0 plus 0. So now the total electric flux due to all the charges equals to Q1 plus Q2 minus Q3 by epsilon naught. So this we call it is Q inside, total charge Q inside by epsilon naught. So this is the expression. And here very important is that the electric field in the Gauss law is electric field due to all the inside charges and outside charges. But charge in the Gauss law, so only charge inside the Gaussian sphere. So not the electric flux, inward electric flux is taken as negative, outward electric flux is taken as positive. Suppose the electric flux enter into the surface, that flux will be taken as negative. The electric flux going away from the surface is taken as positive. Right. Important points in Gauss law. We can say that the limitations of Gauss law. So, what are the limitations of Gauss law? Where we can use the Gauss law? First, number one. Gauss law is valid for any shape and size of the Gaussian surface. First one, it is valid for any shape and size. And that means it's independent on the size and shape of the Gaussian sphere. So now, let's say this is the sphere having charge plus Q, and it's a cube having this charge plus Q, and also any other shape, irregular shape having charge plus Q. So all are produces same electric flux, phi1 equals to phi2 equal to phi3. Here electric flux Q by epsilon naught, Q by epsilon naught, Q by epsilon naught. And it is valid general charge distribution. Next, second point, in the Gauss law expression. So there is a term is there. What is the Gauss law? E integral of E bar dot ds bar equal to q enclosed by epsilon naught. This is the phi. Here the charge appear in the Gauss law is the total charge anywhere inside the Gaussian surface. Suppose this is the Gaussian surface. It's a Gaussian surface. It's a plus q1, plus q2, plus q3, and outside q4 is a q5. So here flux equals to q1 plus q2 plus q3 by epsilon naught. Next one. Third point. In the Gauss law expression, this is the electric field due to the all the charges. All the charges means inside charges and outside charges. So integral of E1 bar plus E2 bar plus E3 bar plus E4 plus E5 dot ds bar. But charge only inside charge only. Inside charge only. Next is very important. Next, for symmetrical charge surface, symmetrical surface. For symmetrical surface, suppose this is the symmetrical surface. Symmetrical surface. So charge plus Q charge is at center. At center is important point, and these are the electric lines of force going away from the charge. So like this. So what is the total electric flux produced by the tube? Total flux produced by the tube equals to total charge by epsilon naught. But we want to find each phase how much is the electric flux brings. So how much the electric flux is equals to each phase is equals to, let's say n phases are there. So then q by n, so 5 phases is equal to q by n times epsilon naught. This is the expression for one single phase. Next, fifth point. Fifth point. It is applicable for all its mediums, whether it is dielectric medium or any mediums. Okay, these are the important points. It's a Gauss law. Next, we are going to discuss applications on the Gauss law. Applications of Gauss law. Right. First application, electric flux through a tube. First thing, this is the first electric flux through a tube. In this first case, case 1, suppose this is the tube having top, bottom surface, front surface, back surface, right surface, left surface. Suppose in this tube there is a charge is present at the center of the cube. So what is the electric flux produced by the electric flux linked through the cube? Linked through the cube is the plus q. Actually, suppose this is the square surface. It is the square surface. This area A, B, C, D, and it's A side level. So there is a charge placed plus q charge at A by 2. Then what is the electric flux through this surface, this square surface? So we can't tell directly, because how much is the flux is going, lines of force passing through this we can't know, we can't say directly. So in order to calculate the flux passing through this surface, we have to construct the Gaussian surface, Gaussian cube around the charge cube. So now we are constructing the Gaussian surface, Gaussian cube around the charge, plus q is presented. Now, so how much is the flux linked with this surface? A, B, C, D. So now total flux, how much is the total flux? Total charge by epsilon. How much is total charge is there? Q. So now this is the total flux. Now how many phases are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So first 6 phases are there. So now for each phase, how much is the flux flowing? 5 total by 6. This is sharing, because electric lines is producing like this, and all are the crossing the surface. So 5 phase is equal to q by 6 epsilon naught. This is the for each phase. Next to second one, suppose the charge is placed at this phase, at the face of the cube. So now how much is the flux linked through the cube, that we have to calculate. See the charge. So this is the cube, and we place charge plus q is here. So now we calculated. So in order to calculate, we construct the one more Gaussian, what we call it is cube. This is the cube we constructed. That means we place like this cube, one more cube is placed like this, same identical cube. Now, how many electric lines are force produced by this charge? All are some half of the lines passing through this and half of the lines passing through this. That means this charge is sharing the two cubes. First, what is the total charge produced by charge cube? Flux produced by charge cube. So q by epsilon naught. But here it is sharing for two cubes. So for one cube, how much the electric flux passing through this? So this equals to q by 2 epsilon naught, the answer. Next to, suppose is here. So for this electric lines of force is parallel. So next, number third. Suppose the charge is placed at the edge of the cube. Here we place. Suppose we place here, then how many identical cubes we can construct? This is one. Next one is, so top one is, and upon this one more. So that means this edge is shares to 4 cubes. That means charge is shared to 4. So now we can write the first. This is the total flux multiplied by epsilon naught. So for each cube means it is shared to 4, and we can write it is 5q is equal to q by 4 epsilon naught. Is answer. Next is fourth one. Suppose the charge is placed at the corner of the cube. Charge is placed at the corner of the cube. Here we place it. Then how much is the electric flux passing through the one cube? Now for this cube corner, it can share the 7 more cubes. So like this. Suppose this is the one cube corner. So like this corner, and the second identical corner like this. This is the one more corner. So third, fourth. So upon there are 4 more cubes are there. So this corner is shared to 8 cubes. So first, how much is the total flux produced by the charge? Q by epsilon naught. For each cube, then how much is the, so by 8 epsilon naught. So then how much is the flux passing through the each phase? For this phase, it is lines are passing parallel. For this phase also lines are passing parallel. This phase lines parallel, here also lines parallel, this is also parallel. Remaining all surfaces, lines are crossing perpendicular. Then, so for one phase, out of 6, for 3 phases are going parallel. So then, remaining 3 phases, it is going perpendicular. So then, we can write the 5 phase is equal to 2 by 3 into 8 is 24 epsilon naught. Next electric flux to the hemispherical surface. First, number 1. So number 1. So hemispherical sphere is like this. Hemispherical sphere is like this, and its radius r. So electric field lines are passing like this, and along the past y direction, uniform electric flux is passing along past y direction. How much the flux passing through the flat surface? How much the path passing through the curved surface? So now, first Q, how much is the Q angle is 0. Now according to Gauss law, what is the total flux? Is equals to 0. It's number 1. Next, number 2. This is case 1. Number 2. Now what is the flux entering here, this surface? That means area which is in this direction for curved surface, but electric field is upward direction. Now for curved surface or flat surface is equal to E bar dot ds bar or dA bar. So for PS is equals to ds into cos 180 degrees. So first PS is equals to minus E into ds. Now here what is area of this loop? What is the area of the loop? Area of the loop is it's pi r square minus E into pi r square. This is the flat surface. Now what about the curved surface? Curved surface. We know that total flux is equals to curved surface plus flat surface. This is equal to what? 0, because flux is 0. Now we are going to find flux passing through the curved surface. So curved surface plus what is this? Minus pi r square into E equal to 0. Now find curved surface equal to pi r square into E. This is the expression. Next one. Second case. In the second case, this is the hemispherical ball. Its radius r, and it is like this. It is passing through the surface. So now, how much the flux passing through the curved surface and flat surface? Here this is the electric field. So first we know what is charge equals 0. Charge equals 0 means flux total how much? 0. Second one. So what is the flux? What is the flux? Total flux? Curved surface plus its total flux is equal to curved surface plus flat surface. Now what is the total flux? 0. So curved surface plus. Now what about its flat surface? Here what is the angle between them? 90. So for flat surface is equal to E bar dot A bar. This equals to E into A into cos 90. This becomes 0. So when this becomes 0, here we substituted. Then flux curved surface also 0. Number third. So suppose this is the hemispherical surface. There is a charge at this point. So now what is the flux linked to the hemisphere? That means all the lines are crossing the surface normal to the surface like this. And we can imagine one more half of hemispherical is we can draw. That means it is sharing only half of the surface. So the flux phi is equal to Q by 2 epsilon naught. Next, fourth one. Suppose hemispherical ball. This is the hemispherical ball. It's a hemispherical ball. Hemispherical ball, and this is a normal. And electric field is like this. This makes an angle 45 degrees. Then what is the electric flux linked with the curved surface or flat surface? Flat surface. So here flux is equal to formula phi equals to E bar dot is A bar. So EA cos 45 degrees. So phi is equals to we can write it for curved surface. So E into pi r square into 1 by root 2. So phi CS is equals to So IR square into E by root 4. The answer. Next, other conditions. What is the flux linked with the cylinder? It's cylinder. Consider this is the cylinder. Is placed in the uniform electric field. Uniform electric field. So here the area vector is in this direction. And electric field is in this direction, uniform electric field. Here area vector in this direction, electric field in the same direction. The electric field in this direction, area vector, so in this direction. Now what is the flux linked with the flux passing through the cylinder? So first, total flux is equal to integral E bar dot ds bar. Here how many surfaces are there? First surface, second surface, third surface. So first surface E ds. Here angle is 180 cos 180 plus integral of E ds. Here what is the angle? 90 cos 90 plus integral EDS cos 0. So this flux equals to, this becomes minus E. So total integration will do this area A plus here cos 90 means 0 plus E cos 0 1. So total integration of surface gives A and flux is equals to minus A plus A. Get the answer 0. Next to is the second one. What is the electric flux linked with the due to the dipole? So here when it is dipole is placed within the Gaussian surface, net charge, enclosed charge is 0. Then the flux Q enclosed by epsilon naught is becomes 0. Number third, suppose the charge is outside the circle, how much is the flux produces? 0. Next, number 4, suppose charge is here, what is electric flux produces? Q by 2 epsilon naught, because it is stressed to two surfaces.